नमो ताणं नमो सत्ताणं नमो आर्याणं नमो वज्राणं नमो सबदाणं नमो आर्यन्ताणं नमो सत्ताणं नमो आर्याणं नमो वज्राणं नमो नमो आर्यन्ताणं नमो सत्ताणं नमो आर्याणं नमो वज्राणं नमो लोहे सबसाहुनं मंगलम भगवान वीरो मंगलम गौतमो वने मंगलम कुंदन जन धर्मोस्तु मंगलम जन धर्मोस्तु मंगलम। सभी को सादर रजनी। मैं हमारे बीच में अगर अनवी है तो अनवी से निवेदन करूंगा कि वो मंगलाचरण करें। हमारे बीच में अनीता दीदी आज है, लेकिन ललिता दीदी भी साथ में है। ललिता दीदी भी उद्बोधन करेंगी। मैं उनसे निवेदन करता हूँ। ललिता दीदी आपसे निवेदन है, आप ही मंगलाचरण करें।
जी
और
भैया,
जी
बोलिए गजाराशि चिंतामणि पारसनाथ भगवान की जय। बोली संत शिरोमणि आचार्य श्री विद्यासागर जी महाराज की जय। सराकुद्धारक आचार्य श्री ज्ञान सागर जी महाराज की जय। आचार्य श्री गे सागर जी महाराज की जय। जन जन में आनंद छाया, हुआ घर घर मंगलाचार। जन जन में आनंद छाया, हुआ घर घर मंगलाचार। पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, जैनों का त्योहार। पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, जैनों का त्योहार। क्रोध शुभापी कभी बनो मत क्षमा धर्म का भाव धरो। क्रोध शुभापी कभी बनो मत क्षमा धर्म का भाव धरो। मार्दव धर्म हमें सिखलाता, सदा मान से दूर रहो। मत कपट करो थोड़ा भी, मत कपट करो थोड़ा भी, धारो पार जब सुखिकार। पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, जैनों का त्योहार। पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, खुशियां अपरंपार। उत्तम सोच धर्म है कहता, तन मन अपना शुद्धि रखो। उत्तम सोच धर्म यह कहता, तन मन धन मन अपना स्वस्थ रखो। कहा सुना देखा हो जैसा, सत्य वचन तुमने मुख से कहो। संयम रखना जीवन में, संयम रखना जीवन में, संयम ही मोक्ष का द्वार। पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, खुशियां अपरंपार।
सेमिनार है
खुशियां
पंद्रह तारीख को, हर महीने 15 तारीख को होती है।
आप पूरा करिए।
बोली महावीर करो सदा तप, इस जीवन में मिलता है यह तन। करो सदा तप, इस जीवन में मिलता है यह तन। भोग विलास का त्याग करो नित, आत्म के श्रृंगार लिए। आकिंचन धर्म को जानो, आकिंचन धर्म को जानो, आकिंचन धर्म को समझो। अरे पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, जैनों का त्योहार। पर विपर्यूषण आ गया, खुशियां छाई पर विपरूषण आ गया, खुशियाँ जाई अब। बोलिए आचार्य श्री ज्ञान सागर जी महाराज की जय। मैं सभी जीवों को क्षमा करता हूँ।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद दीदी आपको। हमारे बीच में अनवी भी जुड़ गई है खजुराहो से। अनवी, मैं निवेदन करूंगा अपना जल्दी से
हाँ
मंगलाचरण।
जी, हाँ जी, सभी को जय जिनेन्द्र। अभी प्रवचन ही चल रहे हैं आचार्य श्री के।
हाँ, अनवी खजुराहो में है। अगर वीडियो ऑन करके महाराज के भी दर्शन हो जाएंगे तो करा देना, नहीं तो कोई बात नहीं।
इधर से दिखना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, पर मैं कोशिश करती हूँ।
ठीक है बेटा, आप तो अपना मंगलाचरण कर दो।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। मंगलम भगवान वीरू, मंगलम गौतमो गणी, मंगलम कुंद कुंदादो, जैन धर्मोस्तु मंगलम। मत कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर काया को अभिमान, काया गार से काचे। मत कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर काया को अभिमान, काया गार से काचे। ओ काया गार से काचे रे, जैसे ओसरा मोती। ऐसा सख्त था महाराज जिनका मुल्कों में हाराज, जिन भर झूलता हाथी। वो जिन भर झूलता हाथी रे, जैसे ओसरा मोती। झोंका पवन का लग जाए, झपका पवन का लग जाए, काया भूल हो जासी, काया तेरी भूल हो जासी। लीजे विद्यासागर नाम गुरु जी ने सिर पे रखियो हाथ, जिनसे मुक्ति मिल जासी, जिनसे मुक्ति मिल जासी रे, जैसे ओसरा मोती। मत कर माया को अहंकार, मत कर काया को अभिमान, काया गार से काच, काया तेरी भूल हो जासी।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अनवी। अनवी खजुराहो गई हुई है आचार्य श्री समय सागर महाराज जी के चरणों में ही। प्रवचन की भी हमें पीछे से आवाज आ रही थी। तो अब मैं निवेदन करूंगा हमारे प्रोफेसर अशोक जैन साहब से कि वो आचार्य श्री का चित्र अनावरण करके और फिर हमारे आज के जो स्पीकर हैं उनको भी इंट्रोड्यूस कर दें। प्रोफेसर अशोक जैन साहब जो आज के हमारे चेयरमैन हैं।
बोलिए परम पूज्य 108 आचार्य श्री ज्ञान सागर जी महाराज की जय
जय
जय जय।
जय हो जय। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अशोक जैन साहब आपका आचार्य श्री के चित्र अनावरण दर्शन कराने का। मैं निवेदन करूंगा कि आज के हमारे स्पीकर डॉक्टर सी देव कुमार साहब ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं। उनको आप इंट्रोड्यूस करें और आमंत्रण करें अपने उद्बोधन के लिए। आपको तो इंट्रोड्यूस करने की जरूरत नहीं है, प्रोफेसर जैन साहब हम सब जानते हैं बहुत अच्छे से। बॉटनी के प्रोफेसर रहे हैं और जीवाजी विश्वविद्यालय में डायरेक्टर हैं अभी भी, और बहुत जैन लिटरेचर में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है। हमारे साथ जैनिज्म पे काफी काम किया है और काफी अवार्ड भी मिले हैं आपको।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर सोगानी जी।
जी
थैंक यू डॉक्टर सोगानी जी फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी to introduce a great scholar, Dr. C. Dev Kumar ji. Really, he is a rare combination of academics as well as religion. When I went through his biography, his achievements, his contributions, then I felt that really he must have worked very hard, very hard. If I read his total contribution, his entire biography, then it may take one lecture. But in brief, I would like to tell you something about our learned speaker, Dr. C. Dev Kumarji. He did MSc in chemistry from IIT Chennai, then PhD from ICAR-IARI, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi, ARS, FIAS. He is Fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences. He is also Fellow of Indian Chemical Society, Kolkata. Then, in his service career, he held various positions such as Assistant Director General in ICAR, New Delhi, and also as Principal Scientist in ICAR. Then, one noble contribution goes to his credit. And that was really in the path of ahimsa, that is non-violence. And that noble contribution was that he invented green chemical, that is neem-coated urea. It was a rare invention. And why he invented it? Because for minimizing the milk adulteration, because we know the adulteration due to urea. So for minimizing the milk adulteration and for preventing environmental pollution. Then he had guided several MSc and PhD students. He has authored over 200 research papers, 30 book chapters, and a rare achievement of Dr. Dev Kumarji is that he has 14 patents. 14 patents is something. And he has compiled a book on Bhagwan Bahubali, which was published in 2017. And he also did Tamil version of Acharya Indranandi ji, and his scripture was Shrutavtaram. So he translated this great scripture in Tamil language, and he delivered 30 invited lectures in India and abroad. And he also presented paper in ICSJP in 2016 and 2021. He is on the editorial board of several journals, as it happens with such great scientists. And he also served as consultant to Government of India, to United Nations in FAO, that is Food and Agricultural Organization. So this is really a rare achievement, and the Government of India sent him, and he was the representative, and he worked there as consultant. Then very important with Dr. Dev Kumarji is that he is a very active blog writer. And most of the blogs, he is a blogger in Jainism. And his agamic discourse in Tamil exceeds over 500 audios. So this is something rare with Dr. Jeevaraj. And nowadays, those who are associated with JAS, that is Jain Academy of Sciences, Dr. Dev Kumarji is a regular speaker in that society, that association, JAS, and he regularly delivers lecture on Mohammad Sar Jeev Kant. If you hear his lecture, you will really surprised to know that how deeply Dr. Dev Kumarji has studied Mohammad Sar Jeev Kant. So, my dear friends, with this, really, I am really very sorry that I am giving his introduction in brief, but with this brief introduction, I invite our learned speaker, Dr. Dev Kumarji, and today he is going to speak on Tamil Jain literature, collections and facts. In Hindi, Tamil Jain Sahitya, Sangrah और तथ्य. So I humbly request you, Dr. Dev Kumar ji, to please benefit us by delivering your important talk. Dr. Dev Kumar ji, please.
सभी को और स्पेशली प्रोफेसर अशोक जी who took a lot of pains to really dig out something about me. That is something so great of him. We belong to same academics. I really appreciate sir for speaking some few words about me, which is very nice to hear. And I see it, respected Sulek ji is awake early morning to just come and join with us. That's a great honor to me. And I also will say Sada Jain, all of you, there are 12 of us total, which is nothing bad. Bhagwan Mahavir's Ganadhar were also, in fact, 12 only. So that is nothing to do. Our Sogani ji has been doing a great job. I must do Vandana to Pujya Jain Sahaj Maharaj, who has been promoting so much. I could not really join when he was alive. I know he has been very active. Or then Sogani ji, in fact, requested me, can you speak on the Jain contribution in Tamil literature? Both are very favorite topic to me. I thought I'll just do, but I cannot justify the topic, but I'll give you a sort of flavor of what's happening about it with some slides. And I'll just briefly run through because I don't want to all of you to really, you simply have an idea what has happened in down south in last 2000 years, where most of us in North, we had a lot of internal conflict and external aggression, etc. Peace was not there in North most of the time, but South was a peaceful country those days, and that's how these great treatises, the literature could really grow, and people also could be shown the way of culture to live and let live the concept mostly. Without taking much time, I'll just Tara, kindly permitted to share the slides. I have been disabled for the time being. I'm sure Soganiji, the great anchor person, will allow me to share the slides. जरा अशोक जी देखिए क्या बात है, क्यों it is disabled?
No, I'm just giving the X actually.
Yeah, Soganiji, Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinen, sir.
और थोड़ा एडवर्टाइज करिए, लोग पता चलना चाहिए. Doing a great job. And that's the reason we have a Devadutta to be one of the art महाप्राधिकारियास. देव लोग जय 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 घोषण करके एडवर्टाइज करते हैं समोशरण को, तो इसलिए हमें भी करना जरूरी है.
श्योर श्योर. अभी थोड़ा 10 लक्षण भी चल रहे हैं, लोग कई जगह पे इन्वॉल्व हैं.
मतलब धर्म को जाते ही, और पता नहीं बहुत सारे फाइल खुला है क्या. आई जस्ट हैव टू क्लोज इट आई गेस, बट आई थिंक आई विल मैनेज.
Yeah. Now you can exercise.
I'll close. और भी तो नहीं है. I think it should be fine. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you so much. And once again, I welcome you, all of you, for this great occasion to share, reminiscence the great language. And that language has been great because of the great literature that it has got. And so I just put a title, Seminal Perspectives on Stellar Contributions of Jain Literature to Classical Tamil Language. It is mouthful. I use the word classical Tamil language, that we'll come to know why it is a classical language. And the stellar contributions, I wanted to touch upon the major ones part of it, and also it's very difficult. Seminal perspectives because last 1,000 years and more so after freedom, and the Hindu zealots have been rewriting history of their own. They've been trying their hard best to conceal our contributions. And so if you compare, if you read in literature nowadays, modern, any WhatsApp, everything, or Google, find what I'm something different. Because of the general kind of biasness that are there mostly. But the great scholars all over the world, they understand. And the classical example is one Ellis, Lord Ellis, came out with a coin in honor of the author of Tiruppural, and he showed him as a Jain saint. But within last 75 years, you could see that that Jain saint got the name of another name through over, and there's a statue for him, which is all of having like a Hindu sage. That is the way, that's a classical way. As long as Britishers were there, the real honor was really available. That's basically the point, but doesn't matter. We continue to go with my criminal perspective that my biased mind to give into this. I just put a caveat. That's what I said. Tamil history is sort of mutilated with facts being a major victim. This is an unfortunate point. Many of the non-Jain authors who wanted to write on Jainism, they have been subject to all sorts of hurdles. The classical Ismaili Sini Venkata Swami who wrote on Jainism and Tamil, Samanamum Tamilum, and you need to prefer that 2 volumes, only 1 volume would can come. And last 10 years back, one gentleman came out, Samanargal Yetiyadu Tirukkural. That is the title of the book. Samanargal Yetiyadu Tirukkural. He was not even allowed to present his work. So I have a copy. That's the reason I, first and foremost, and you must understand, because we have not been united throughout the country. And in isolated, Andhra Jainism has been wiped out, Kerala Jainism wiped out, with the result that we have been a lot of kind of thing, our heritage could not be protected that well. And coming to the second point, we are talking about literature in Tamil, which is more than 1,000 years spread. The constitution is running to more than 1,000 years, 1 millennium. And so to cover it, and there are Tamil department giving courses, BS courses, BMA courses, etc. And we are going to try to understand last 40 minutes. So that's the reason there'll be more misses with fewer hits. I thought a lot of Tamil Jains would join, excepting Devika ji, I don't see anybody else has joined. So anyway, there will not be much complaint from this lecture because Tamil Jains have not joined. They would have found more misses than hits that I am going to cover. And I also want to mention, it seems that that will be, the talk will be mostly be in English only, because I see the audience is very well conversant with English. Then what is thing would be, when you go through some of the books which I'll be telling, you will not be only seeing what you call, we are only talking name of the book. Amastapana, Baba says is totality. We should start with, then Stapana with the content, and Dravya and its meaning, and how it's, we have to take it. But unfortunately, and we have not, unless we go through each book very carefully, we will not get evidence. Kindly pardon this. I would love to have been to talk with. Then sort of, you don't have to wait for 40 minutes. What is that contributions we're going to cover? The Jain contributions, I said, cover 1 million years, 1,000 years. And afterward, probably people are talking about Tamil as a language, and only talking story of Tamil, etc., etc. They're all stems from the country, Jaina country. If Jain contributions are removed even today, Tamil will be bereft of its richness. That is a fact. You remove Tirukkural, you remove Kunnaladiyar, you remove Silappatikaram, you remove Tolkappiyam, remove Nannul, you remove Jevashantamni, etc. And there will be nothing left of Tamil, which is talking about glory. That's some. So the contributions, you see, the expertise is vast and varied. And again, that's the point. And today I just want notable contributions are the grammar and the, for any language, definition, grammar लक्षण, हम जो व्याकरण कह देते हैं में, तमिल में it is called लक्षण, define the parameters not only of language and also its content, and that is very important. We have what you call is letters, soul, words, and purpose is what is conveying. It means that some benefited last years culturing their mind and way. That is important. Do not whether other Vyakarana talk about the third one called अर्थ. इससे क्या अर्थ मिलना चाहिए? That is what. We have been very lucky to get a grammar. I'll come to it, and many lexicon, encyclopedias, and the kind of synonym, thesaurus that could come. The Jains only could contribute that. Then the great epics and minor epics, all the epics that they were classified, excepting two, are Lord Jains. We'll see about it. And large volume of ethical literature, which no other language in the world has. And finally, the Jains are contributing the spiritual content of Tamil language. जो जहां हम रहते हैं उस वीडु कहते हैं. वीडु मतलब मोक्ष. मोक्ष का स्थान को हम गर्क कहा जाता है. That speaks volume about. Another point is Tamil has got two categories of called Sharir. So as a rule, the grammarian said the Sharir will not come in before any word or sentence, because जीव के बिना शरीर का आपको पता क्या है, इसलिए उन्होंने अमंगल करते हुए कहा. So this speaks how much Jain Tamil literature even today, the spiritual platform is very high. And non-Jains have got names of, for example, Periyasamy. Periyasamy means Bade Baba. Chami means one Mahavir. And Appasamy means Bahubali, because Bahubali went ahead of Father Adinath. So like that, we'll see a lot of names today in Tamil people. They are not necessarily Jains today, carry the Jain name. Another point.
So, Ganiji, there is a disturbance in the mic. Can you correct it?
Answer, huh?
There is a disturbance in mic. Hissing sound is coming continuously.
Acha. Just permit me. Sorry for this. Pointing out, I hope it's not there now or minimized. अभी कम हुआ? आंसर कम हुआ अभी?
हाँ, थोड़ा कम हुआ है, but still it is coming.
तो अनिल आप और सब लोगों का माइक म्यूट कर दीजिए.
हाँ नहीं, बाकी सबका म्यूट है. एक्चुअली वहीं से थोड़ा डिस्टर्बेंस है उन्हीं के माइक में.
People may not too much about to say. Tamil is one of languages, major language from Panamana Sutra and Payang Sutra. We have the reference to Tamil. The 18 languages have been used in Bhagwan Vidvani in propagation. People will not accept today Tamil is mother of Malayalam, Telugu, etc. The fact remains that it is all daughter languages, and Tamil people spread widely even those days. And again, the point is Tamil has got its own unique characteristics, grammar, and vocabulary. If you see in the Indian languages, Sanskrit will be dominating in all languages, maybe Bangla, maybe Odisha, or Gujarati, Marathi, etc. Tamil is the only language, even Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, but Tamil is the only language maintaining distinct identity. I don't know kind of thing that was vocabulary, grammar. That's the reason our North Indian friends find it difficult to pick up Tamil that easily. And it is one of the oldest living languages, because it's still being spoken by about 7 crore people, or outsiders over 8 crore. It's a testament of the civilization strive for. Of course, it is the official language of Tamil Nadu and the Pondicherry. It's also an official language in Sri Lanka and Singapore, and has significant numbers of speakers in Malaysia, Mauritius, Fiji, and South Africa. And lot of the Tamil could survive now because of the foreign scholars. The kind of scholars we have in New Zealand, Switzerland, Australia, and Russia, they are doing a lot of papers because they're unbiased. They have nothing to do with, which caste or which religion you are born. So they speak the truth. That's why Tamil is even today. Talking about regional variations, it'll be interesting to know that Tamil varies drastically, spoken language varies drastically between North Tamil Nadu and South Tamil Nadu. Typically, Chennai Tamil and Madurai Tamil are drastically different. In fact, when I joined service, one person from Madurai came and he said, brother, it's difficult to follow you. Your language is really difficult. So that's the speak. And similarly, Singapore Tamil and Sri Lankan Tamil, they got their own flavor because Deshangal Dorum, Bhashagal Vere. There is a saying in Tamil, as you move on from place to place, and the language also undergoes change. It is generally accepted, no argument on that. Tamil history could be classified into three periods. The old classical Tamil period from 450 BC and 700 CE. Even before Bhagwan Mahavir's Pravachan could read those places, most Tamil was already there containing Jain ideas. Middle Tamil is 700 to 1600 CE, that is Christian AD, what you call, and in modern Tamil we say 1600 onwards. So there are major three, the literature also accordingly divided. I said it's a classical language. In 2004, it was declared as a classical language because it has met three criteria. One, a language to become classical, its origins must be ancient. It has an independent tradition, and it possesses a considerable body of ancient literature. That's why I said that the ancient literature, if you remove that, it will not be a classical language. And the ancient literature stems from Jain literature, contributed by Jain, I mean to say. The ancient Tamil literature and inscriptions go hand in hand, known as Sangam literature, because Sang, the very word Sang is a Jain word. Because Jains are known to organize Sang, Bhagavan Tirthankar se leke Chadur with the Sang. The Sangam literature provides invaluable insights into the early stages of the language. These texts include poems, epics, and philosophical works that reflect the social, cultural, and political life of ancient Tamil society. The inscriptions found on cave walls, note them, they are all Jain inscriptions. Temples and monuments further illuminate the evolution of Tamil script and language usage over the centuries. Because Tamil is one of the sacred languages in the Samosharana, and our Jain saints and Jain Sravaks have taken it naturally fish and water to enrich the language. The Sangam period, which we are talking about, the third Sangam actually, that's what we say. They say that tradition and the legend says there are three Sangams or the gatherings, two at Madurai and one at Kapadapuram. The first lasted over 4,440 years, second over 3,700 years, and the third over 1850 years, 1,850 years. Scholars consider this chronology as historical and mythical because you cannot stretch the history that far away. 1850 is easy. Beyond that becomes difficult. That's the way even Parshnath is only, we say, last two Tirthankars are the historical figure. Even Neminath Bhagwan is not that much taken, even though he is a cousin of Lord Krishna. Most scholars suggest the historical Sangam literature era, also called the Sangam period, spanned from 300 BC to 300 CE. There are 600 years of the bandwidth. You can see that 300 BC, and even Bhadrabhav Swami just reached there. Before that, Tamil was very much rich there. People should understand, some of the historians all have a very myopic view. Jainism started with the 24th Tirthankar, and Tamil literature, Jain literature started with the Bhadrabhav Swami's arrival. Both are wrong statement, because you cannot, 12,000 people gathering, you cannot take to a place where Jainism is not at all there. The Jains have to be there to take care of these saints. So that is very simple logic. Similarly, the language also cannot flourish overnight, communication. So that is the foundation, the background has to be there. And for highly biasness, they don't want to accept other 23 Tirthankars so easily. Only they start with Bhagwan Mahavir and treat him as equivalent to any other so-called vertical prophets. They may treat with any of the gurus, you may just take it. That's very unfortunate. Now, coming to the grammar, the very word Tolkappiyam is the oldest extant work on Tamil grammar. Tolkappiyam means ancient work. Tol means ancient. Kappiyam means a book which protects people, which gives ways and means for the people to protect their culture and the personality. That's why Kappiyam. Kapu means protection, Raksha Karna. So Kappiyam, that's a word. Tolkappiyam. There's no word, it is only ancient book, ancient book which protects us. That means so much. Tolkappiyam, as I said, it contains not only the vocabularies and phonology, etc. It also teaches the people how to live, how to organize, how to conduct themselves. So that's something amazing. The traditions of Indian scholars favor as an early date for its composition before the Common Era. Right? Mostly people go even to say 500 BC. I hope you are able to hear me. And that it is the work of one person labeled as Tolkappiyar. That's the greatness of Jain saints. Because they have renounced, there's nothing to put their name. Nowadays is a different story. People put their photos. Once you renounce and you are detaching yourself from your name, your origin, your body, etc. So we do not know what was the name of the great saint who composed this grammar. Simply is called Tolkappiyar after its work. Its content. So as I said, Ilakkanam, Lakshanam, that is what in Tamil called. So it has got 3 major chapters, Adhigar, each with 9 chapters and different sizes. The text has a cumulative total of 1,610 sutras. Just note it, only 1,610 sutras to cover the entire gamut of a language and its culture and people guiding them. The first chapter, that is the first Adhikar, it is called the letters, alphabets, cost 483. Second one, the words, Soladhikaram, it is 400 Padadhika, 463, and Puruladhikaram naturally has got more numbers, 664 means जीने का क्या मतलब है अर्थ. That even this survived with great difficulty. That's what we have to note it down. So less numbers actually. The sutra format, and they're all in sutra format. That's something very interesting to know. The sutra format is difficult. We know Tattva Sutra. We require a commentary to understand that. Similarly, Dusra format provides a distilled summary of these rules, one that is not easy to read or comprehend. Therefore, commentaries are come up to understand that. That's where it's some problem. When the commentaries are come, the bias people have started interpreting different way. Very interesting way when you read that. But basically the commentaries are so that there's an opportunity for them because sutra is very concise. You can interpolate with your own way. One thing that is what gives one of the commentators called Panamparanar. R is G. हिंदी में G कहते हैं, we put as R. Bharati R. Bharati is a name, R added to him, Bharati R. It means Panamparanar, and he has, for his introduction, is given a prashasti. And the prashasti introduces the author Tolkappiyar. And he says, the Tolkappiyar is known for the grammar of which is with Indra, Aindiram. Aindiram means the grammar of Southern Mendra. And Southern Mendra का जो grammar है, यहाँ पे इनके पास आया है. That's something there. Even same way we call the Sanskrit Bhasha Dev Bhasha, because that again it derives from Aindiram, Indra's comment Vyakaran. Then the another word which says that Padmayon, the author was a Pratimadhari. So clearly telling these 2 points. One is about his greatness, that getting from Indra's, which is something, eternal that way. And he is a Pradhamadhari. That is something, these 2 we get it. So this settles down all the controversy people want to create about the author's origin. Just I want to take a flavor how clear he has been in giving the sutra. He first says what is the first book and what is the next book, etc. This is what we see in Mahapurana. We also see the Yamachandracharya's Strishesha Salaka Purush defining what is the first book. Vinayin Ninki Vilangi Arivan Munevan Kandadu Mudal Nulakam. The real first book is the one revealed by Tirthankar. The Tirthankar Vinay Nengi was extinguished the Katikarmas. As a result of it, he has attained omniscience, and what he said, what the compilation is called the first one. So if you see the commentary on this you will be really pulling your hair and say people could be interpreting so differently with a bias. Vinayin Ningi. Vinay means karma. Ningi. When the karmas have been removed, Vilangi event, this Jyoti Gyan Jyoti came out prakat hua hai. I say Munaivan Kantadu. That kind of carefully Bhagavan kind of So I wanted to say, if you see each of the sutras, so powerful, so authentic, so sarvahit. साहित्य मतलब पे सार्वहित होना, साहित्य का होना है. So that we see that point. So naturally, modern scholars have taken a lot of research on this material. One, the British scholar says, Tolkapi must have, that is fellow Robert Caldwell, one of the well-known scholars in Tamil. Tolkapi must have been preceded by many centuries of literary culture. It lays down rules for different kinds of poetical compositions, which must have been deduced from examples furnished. You cannot write a grammar book without background literature. So which means to say, Tolkappir had so much of spoken literature, etc. From there, he composed and given a definite way of how to write a poem, what it contains, what it should contain, what should be metered, etc., etc. Alexander Dubiase, veteran Tamil scholar from Moscow State University, stated, I am sure that Tolkappiyam is a work which demanded not only vast knowledge and a lot of thinking, but a considerable creative skill from its composer. Dubianskaya also said that the authority of the text was undeniable. It is a literary and cultural monument of great importance. Please note the word monument. When you talk about monument, we talk about big temples, Taj Mahal, etc. It is a literary and cultural monument of great importance. When these Western scholars started doing research, and they could bring semblance of unbiasedness, fairness, and many of these Tamil scholars have to been subdued because of this. Dr. C.R. Sankaran found a very interesting point of it. A visiting professor to the Bonn University from Deccan College, Pune, we went there, has brought out clearly in his learned monograph, Phonomics of Old Tamil, that is about the greatness of this work. Phonomics. Phonemes are significant classes of speech sounds in terms of which alone an organization of the descriptive speech sounds of any language is possible. So the Tolkapia spent a lot of time on this phonemes because Tamil has got fewer letters, aksharas, which means the pronunciations varies accordingly. Only a Tamil person, a scholar, will understand. Even nowadays, the modern scholars don't understand how to spread it. So you spend a lot of time. Sanskrit is no problem. You have more aksharas, but whereas here we meet with the accurate description of phoneme of the whole language, built apparently on the results of phonetic study in Tolkappiyam. Such an emphasis on the pattern inherent in the sounds of the language of study and the attempt to establish on the basis of their occurrences and distribution the types of sounds which must have been significant in distinguishing the meaning of words is not met with even in the Ashtadhyayi of Panini. Panini is the authority, a Vyakaran Karta, grammarian. He has this book is called Ashtadhyayi. He says that it is much, much sharper in this part of it. There's a kind of tribute. There are many, I just picked some. Talking about grammar, Tolkappiyam was guiding all the literature that came around. It was a mother, as an umbrella. You take any of them from somewhere 300 BC onwards, another 1,000 years, it was surviving. But naturally, the language also goes on changing. So again, from one king from Karnataka requested Acharya Bhavananti. Again, you see, they have to search for a Jain Acharya, Jain saint, to revise or bring changes, whatever required in grammar. The book verily is called Nannul. Nalla, தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? We say always, null means good, nunmai, which does good or which is very fine. Null, that is a nannul. So he has written this book in 13th century CA, and he had 5 angas, he covered them. Unfortunately, not all are available. We have written language, spoken language, semantics, poetic language, and rhetorical, that is Alankar. The latter 3 sections have been lost. People didn't want to keep it. That's the unfortunate point. Only we have got Ezhuthu Adhikaram and Sol Adhikaram. Written means Ezhuthu, Akshar. Spoken means soul, words. So that is about. Excuse me, Chamakanna, I'm not keeping well. Now, as I said, that Tolkappiyam needs really fantastic, guides. So naturally, only Jain saints could do it because उनके संयम से ये काम हो पाता है. उनका ज्ञानावरण कर्म का क्षयोपशम अच्छा होता है, इस वजह से कर पाए. मोहन कर्म का क्षयोपशम से. Yaparangalakkarika is one book written by one Jain saint called Amit Sagara. He was the contemporary Gunasakara and who has written a commentary on this book. Yaparangalakkarika is one book which is the guide for Tolkappiyam, and Gunasakara has to write another book to understand Yaparankala Vritti. He has to write a Vritti, he has pointed further. Neminadam is another grammatical work written by Gunavira Pandita. So if you can see the whole grammar, which is the fundamental for language, has been all contributed by Jains or controlled by Jains. I just want to take some flavor in the old Sangam literature. You all learned, even heard about it. Our great politicians, Narendra Modi ji, Abdul Kalam, everybody has been repeating in United Nations everywhere these famous lines, Yadumbure Yavarum Kelil. Basically means Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. This was written about almost 2000 years back. This is done by Ganiyan Punkuntranar. Ganiyan means Ganadipati, Ganacharya. And Punkuntranar, he was living, it is a Punkuntranar I just met, and which means in the hills, residing in this of one Punkuntram, which is full of flowers. So in this, if you say, he gives very clearly, every place is my living place, everybody is my relative. Good and bad will not come from outside, from other sources, and sufferings and non-sufferings also comes from me only. That death is not new, and we don't get excited when we are happy, when things are going in our favor. Poem. He has said this translation of this poem in 1906 as New Year greetings. You can imagine, Pope is an authority for a Christian religion. He was overcome and he has given a big translation. I brought out this in 2000, 1st January 2000. I too did a translation of this and I shared as a New Year greetings, which I am not showing because Pope has done almost 100 years ago. Another one we see in the Sangam literature, the description of Sallekana or Santara, which is common. But Sallekana, Santara is a North Indian word, what we call Sanskrit or Prakrit. We call it as Vadakiruttal. Vadaku means north, Iruttal. That is one who wants to take Sallekana or Santara. He takes an asan seat and faces himself to north. So many other Tamil scholars have interpreted because all the Tirthankaras have come from north. So the Jain Sravaks and Munis, they face north while doing Salekana. But that is not the fact. Sitting facing north is because Vidya Kshetra is north of us. Vidya Kshetra is Shashwat Tirthasthana. इसलिए आप north face कर रहे हैं. Is not because विदेह क्षेत्र को शाश्वत क्षेत्र होने से तीर्थ काल वहां पे हमेशा होने से वहां पे करते हैं. So common practice those days in Tamil Nadu, the kings and all the big people should do that. And one case we see in one Tamil ancient book called Purananuru. Nanuru means 400, and an anthology of 400 poems, where one scholar called Kapila and his friend king got killed in the war. In his honor, he took Salekana. He could not withstand his absence. He took Salekana. The classical most celebrated is the friendship between a Chera king from Chola kingdom and a Sava friend from Madurai. He will come and join. His name is called Pisir Andayar, and he will come and join. He does join, and that is a very, very interesting dialogue we see when Pisir Andayar comes and joins him, and he finds him very young. Even though they're contemporaries in age, this Pisir Andayar, the gentleman, Sravak, does not have a gray hair at all, where the king has so much a gray hair. He says, what is the trick? How come you look so young? That's something very educative, a recipe for anti-aging. He says that there is no reason for me to have sadness. I don't feel sad because I have got fantastic family, understanding family, my wife and children. Then even my grandchildren are also equally sweet, well behaved. The king is just Pandya kingdom, Pandya known for doing very justice. He will not do any injustice. And that is not enough. I am surrounded in my village, the great scholars, people, what are they? Andru, Avindu, Adangiya, Kolgai. The purpose of education, what you call Vidya Tatati Vinayam, that is because I've been surrounded by the great scholars who are all well read. Because they are well read, they have all become Sayami and they follow Sayam life, which means there's no place for Kashai. And because of them, I'm surrounded by that and I feel young in that kind. This is very important from two conversation between two great Jain followers, devotees. One king, another is another, maybe a businessman. Again, Jeev Pope was very, he could not withstand and he has translated it. I will not read my and say will not be misguided, they will be standing beside us. So I just put some flavors. Another hallmark of the old Tamil people has been the Atiti Samvibha, the what you call Virundombal, that hospitality. And is again a great, I will not be able to read that, we may not be having time. He says that first two lines, the translation is, they are in this world. Even if the nectar of Indra may come to him, he will not consume alone without sharing. That is the culture, which means whatever you are getting it, you should share with neighbors and other needy people. That's the idea. It's a beautifully goes. I will not be able to read it. That speaks of the very high pedestals of the Tamil culture of those days, 2000 years back or so. Coming to gender, Avvayar is a common name for the great elated poets, female poets. In fact, in our Tamil Nadu, in my childhood, the people from other community used to address my mother and others as Avvai. So Avvai is a very great title, prominent title. Avvai. Avvai irkangla, Avvayar, Avvaya, Avvai, Avvai, Avvai or Avvai, they used to say. Which basically means it's a Jain ladies. That's a place because these Jain ladies have earned this title because of their education, culture, and their conduct. So we have at least two types of avyas, one in during Sangam period, another who lived in 12th century. I wanted to mention this avyar because she has given syllabus for the Gurukul. She has written 3 books called Atichudi, Kondraivendan, okay, Moodurai, and Nalvadi. And these were the syllabus books of the primary education in the Gurukul. I just wanted to know the alphabets were taught like this. Akara Akshar, A was said Aram Seyya Virumbu. The child was taught A Akshar, we say A for apple, but this book says Aram Seyya Virumbu. A Akshar ka, Akara Akshar ka, Dharma में लगन में धर्म करने में इच्छा रखो आराम से ये विरुंबो. The second one, the A Akshar, he says Aruvadu Senam. You should control your temper. You see, first is the dharma. धर्म का विरोध कषाय, कषाय के दमन करना सीखना. Third अक्षर is E, इयलवद करवे. Never forget to share, give dan to people deserving. Whatever you have, what is having more than what you have must be shared. Like this, the entire alphabet, and this lady composed it. It was prescribed as a syllabus in all Gurukula. Imagine the children coming out of this Gurukul, how much they will be embedded with the Jain principles, philosophy to lead a fair life. I just wanted to bring that. I was telling, I don't know for, I'm already through, I think. All right. अशोक साहब कितने देर है? सोगानी जी, can you hear me?
Time is over, but you can continue. Your talk is very, very enlightening.
Very good, very good. So I said, for any language, you know it, you need to have the strong foundation of grammar, vocabulary, etc. And also instantly using the right word is important. So the lexicons are equally important. So the Jain saints immediately understood they composed 3 lexicons of the oldest one, only by the Divakara Munivar, the Nikandu. Lexicon is called Nikandu. He did it in 6th century AD, and the details are given here. Because one king has requested him, the king named by Santan, and they just Santan, Divakara, Nikandu. And this book consists of 12 sections, 9,500 words, are explained in 2,180 verses. One of the highlights of this book is that it contains 384 synonyms. The synonyms are very important. At appropriate time, you have to use it. The right synonym, right word matters. In this book, mostly Sangam period literary words are used and with the rare modern words of that time. So this is the oldest Nikandu in Tamil today. Second is by the Pingala Munivar, called Sage Pingala, called Pingala Nikandu. It was the 10th century. After another 400 years, then Sage Divakara felt we need to enrich it. His Nikandu has 10 sections, of which 14,700 words are explained in 4,121 sutras, and 1,091 words are synonyms. Then came Sudamani Nikandu, and this is 16th century. It's a very cyclic periodical. 6th century, 10th century, and 16th century. Again, Jains have to do it. Sudamani Nikandu, composed by Mandala Puruda. Tonde Mandalam is the heart of Tamil Jains even today. And the person who was the leader called Purusha, Mandala Purusha, which means he has been given the title, he is the number one leader for the, just like Manu we call it as. And Mandala Purusha, also known as Veera Mandala Purusha, he has compiled the Sudamani Nikandu, divided into 12 sections and written by in the Viruttappa. The meter is Viruttappa. And these 11,000 words in 1197 sutras are explained. You can see, so the Jains have contributed the heart of the language. One is the grammar, strong grammar, with the the substance to live, how to lead a life. And another one is the Nikandu for people to make use of appropriate, or writers or the scholars or the poets to use this vocabulary, lexicons. That's how done it. I said in the introduction itself, and someone did the job, they compiled it, labeled it, they identified 5 great epics of that time. Out of the 5 great epics, 4 of them are Jains, by the Jains or Jain stories. Okay. And great epics means not only in terms of content, but also length of it. It's running into some 3,000 stanzas. Among the top of them, I would say, by chronologically, Silappatikaram is number 1. And then Jivagachintamani is second. I'm into the Manimerakali is a Buddhist work. Jivagachintamani is number 2. Valayapati number 3. And Perungadai, Brahat Katha is number 4. You can see, even though much time has flown, the epics were not written by none other than the Jain saints. They're all Jain saints. None is because that cause will have to deny all the worldly comforts that only Jains saints could do it. So these epics were written from 1,000 years span, starting from 1st century to 10th century. That's why I said 1,000 years taken. And this Kapiam, the name is Kapiam, I told you, which means which protects the people. That leads, when reading these epics, we get reformed ourselves, we get cooled. If we are stressed, we are get cooled. And so the Jivaka Chintamani is the story of Jivaka, which has gone to another 10 books from Gujarati to Marathi to Sanskrit. I wanted to give the table, I could not do. Jivaka was the Kamadev of Lord Mahavir, and he ruled the countries, kingdom around from Mysore around Mysore, Karnataka. That's the point. So Jivaka Chintamani is an amazing. Chintamani is a name has been given. That is to say, Chintamani means like a kalpataru, kalpavruksha. जो आप चाहते हो वो साध्य हो जाता है. एक मनी है, उसके जो जो क्रिस्टल बॉल है, जिसको रख के आपने मन में सोचा वो सार्थक हो जाता है. So Jiva Chintamani, by very name, is that book. By reading, one gets all the comforts of it. Amazing book of 3,127 stanzas, Vruthappa, and the author has been very correctly called Thiru Takka Deva. Thiru means Sri, Takka Worthy, Deva means Devakanka Munivar. We don't know what his name kind of. So I talked about Jivaka Chintamani in Department of Jain and Madras University as a Acharya Tulsi endowment lecture. So today I'm not covering them, but there is always sweetness. Nobody will say, don't give me sweet. It is sweet always to the mind, to the heart, to the soul. Both Silapatikaram and Jivaka Chintamani give a full account of womanhood by powerfully, poignantly delineating the character of chaste wife Kannaki one side and an affectionate mother in Vijayama Devi. These two really make you actually Vijayama Devi's story. Even now, if I read the story, stanzas, the tears roll down. The amazing sacrifice that lady went through. I just want to spend some time. 1,000-year-old epic called Silapadikaram. Silambu means anklet, jo payal, jo pante, and that is why it is there. The whole story revolves around the anklet payal worn by Kannagi, the heroine of the story, and that's the whole conflict as. Are known to be very justice-oriented people, and so it touches. So Silapadikaram, and also you didn't mind. Today you cannot go to a king like that. Very ordinary woman from another country challenges the king. You do not even have the courtesy to look at your anklet, what it is. Yours is only made of pearl, because Pandinad is known for pearl. मोती का है, ये मेरा डायमंड का है. So like that, the story is wonderful. That's why the Chaste Kannaki, the story has been done by none other than the Chera Kingdom Prince. Look at that. The stories of Chola lady, Sravak Kovalan and his wife Kannaki. And the story happens in Madurai, Pandinadu. Is written by the king from Kerala Kingdom, Chera Kingdom, the prince who renounced. The prince, this is after Bahubali and Bharat youth, the new system started. The eldest son will inherit the kingdom. Others will already serve under him, or they will take Diksha. So naturally, the prince takes Diksha. We do not know what his name is, simply called Yuvraj, Ilango. And Ilango article means Jo Maharaj, and he composes. You see the way how it's happening. Story from Chola Kingdom going to Pandinadu, and written by a Chera prince, who is a saint. The amazing, touching story. The way it is a Jain story, the author naturally is a Jain. The way he eulogy of the स्तुति जो करते हैं अर्गत परमेश्वर का is very touching even today. There is one Arika Gaunti article, and she proclaims, I will not worship other than Argat Parmeshwari. That was a time 2000 years back when after the Bhakti movement, our people got so scared, they started discovering using Yakshis, Yakshi Puja का इन्होंने शुरू कराया 1000 years के बाद. पहले उस दिनों में भगवान अर्गत परमेश्वरी के अलावा किसी को स्तुति नहीं करते थे. These are many things we'll see. It's a masterpiece of narrative storytelling, captivating readers with its vivid descriptions, complex characters, and moral dilemmas. I was made already emotional about it. It gives imagery, the landscape, human landscape. It describes so beautifully. What happened? Hello? I just wanted to say, this is a great epic which stood 2000 years, and Bharatiya says that is a Salapadikaram. Actually, the way Bharati praised this book, and that is the way even now it's worth reading. I will not go into all these things. I compiled it, but I think time is running a bit. The interesting point I told you, this covers the entire Tamil Nadu of 3 kingdoms, and also it covers the trinity of Tamil. One is called the literature, other is called music, third is called the drama. Say Nadakam. That's amazing of it. The way he gives is about the description about the music and drama, various instruments, so the way it is done, how it is manufactured, how it is maintained, how it is recited, etc. is amazing today. Bhakchandra Bhaskar Saab has requested that can it be translated. So I think who get the बंद करें?
Yes, now you can close.
See, I just conclude with this. The author, the great sage, Ilangodikal, speaks through the mouth of Kannagi, the heroine, what you should not do, what you should do. This is something I'll end with this. He says, rise above pleasure and pain in accordance with the approved course of conduct. अपने आप को maintain करो. Know God, true God, and serve those who are known Him. Fear speaking falsehood. Avoid tale-bearing, rumors. Refrain from meat eating and abjure injury to any living being. Give gifts and perform the prescribed penances. Do not forget the good done to you. Despise bad friendship. Do not give false evidence. And never depart from words of truth. Do not fail to join assemblies of concluding it. Anji, like that it goes. It's just a way he concludes to say there's a strong message to people, do's and don'ts of it. He just took that. So up to this point, I thank you because I know many more slides. I'll not be able to speak. If time permits, we can have it as another lecture if it interests you. And we have covered, just started from grammar, lexicons, and third is the epics, which covers them. So then we have the ethical literature, typically the Tirukural, unarguably the Jain book, and the Naladiya, etc. And we also have, by 16th century, Mandala Purudar created a synthetic language called Maniprabhala, which is a combination of Tamil and Sanskrit, and a lot of literature manuscripts have come by that. Tamil Brahmi script gave way to Tamil Lipis. So it is in general. Thank you so much. I am most thankful to Gyan Sagar Science Foundation people, especially Dr. Soganiji and Dr. D.C. Jain, Dr. Ashok Kumarji, Sulek Bhai Saab, with a lot of humility in me that मेरे से जो कहा उसमें कोई भी कमी हुआ वो the acts of omission and commission, I request you to with folded hands to pardon me, take the good words of it. Thank you so much. Jai Jain.
देव कुमार जी साहब बहुत बहुत बधाई देव कुमारी साहब, बहुत बहुत बधाई। जय जिनेन्द्र।
जैन साहब इस जरा और क्या
बहुत
कहना?
बधाई आपको, बहुत सुंदर आपका व्याख्यान, बहुत ही बढ़िया। इतनी बातें तो हम लोग कभी मालूम ही नहीं कर सकते थे जितना आपने ज्ञान बतलाया है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत आपको, बहुत बहुत हमारा जय जिनेन्द्र, उत्तम क्षमा।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच। हम लोगों का 18 महाभाषा की बात हो रही है। कम से कम जो प्राकृत, संस्कृत, उसके अलावा गुजराती हमारा तो उसके साथ रिलेटेड है। गुजराती तमिल को काफी संबंध है। और तमिली के बारे में हम स्थानक से आगम से पता चलता है। दैट इज वन ऑफ द 18 लैंग्वेजेस। कहीं भी ढूंढेंगे आसान से, बहुत है वो तो सागर होता है। बट पॉइंट इज दैट आई फाइंड अवर जैन सेंट्स डू नॉट वांट टू लर्न तमिल। आई ऑलवेज फील कम से कम 3 भाषा तो सीखो। आई एम नॉट कंप्लेनिंग, बट ये नहीं हो रहा। वित्त इतना तो होना चाहिए। साउथ के भाषा तमिल को सीखो, किस बात के अब मुनि बने। सो मैंने कितने लोगों से कह चुका हूँ, बट एटलीस्ट आई एम नॉट फॉल्ट ऑफ दैट पॉइंट। आई केम टू नॉर्थ, आई लर्न संस्कृत, लर्न प्राकृत एंड डूइंग दैट पार्ट। ये बहुत जरूरी है वित्वता के लिए। आपको भाषा में आपको त्रिवेदी कहते हैं। 3 भाषा में वित्त होना चाहिए, त्रिवेदी बनते हैं आप। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच। जय हिंद।
देव कुमार जी,
जी
प्रणाम, नमस्कार, जय जिनेन्द्र, और सभी को मेरा प्रणाम।
भाई
और
साहब,
परिवेशन चल रहे हैं, मेरा मिच्छामी दुक्कडम। मैं सोच रहा था कि मैं एक साइंटिस्ट को सुन रहा हूँ या एक लैंग्वेज के स्कॉलर को सुन रहा हूँ। तो आई वाज सो अमेज्ड, योर मास्टरी, द वे यू एक्सप्लेन द ब्यूटी एंड कल्चर एंड ट्रेडिशंस of the Tamil language and its contribution to Jainism or their contribution to the rest of the world. मेरी आपसे आज सुबह बात हुई थी, मैंने आपको कॉल किया था।
जी जी।
तो कहने का मतलब मेरे हम सब के लिए कि वी आर वर्किंग ऑन ए बुक, उसका टाइटल सिग्निफिकेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ जैन एंड जैन थॉट टू द रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। तो ये लैंग्वेज जो है ना इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। डॉक्टर ध्रुति राठी ने आपको कॉल किया था पहले, and we will be asking you, requesting you to write a reasonably good long essay what Tamil literature is due to Jainism. Okay, so that would be one. By the way, if you may or may not know, there is a chair in Tamil language at the University of Houston in Texas, USA. It was established about 4 years ago. I would like to get in touch and maybe get you in touch with them and see if the scholar, the professor who has been appointed, whether that person is working on the same aspect that you just mentioned in your talk. Okay. So that will be, Also, I want to mention to all the friends that we have about 45 universities where we have established chairs of study of Jainism in mostly in Western world. And quite a few scholars, they are expert, they are scholars of South Indian languages like Kannada and also Tamil. So I think it will be nice if I will connect you with them as well. Okay. So मेरा बहुत धन्यवाद. I enjoyed, even though I'm not a linguistic person, but
truly honored. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir.
बोलिए, खन्ना साहब बोलिए।
Excellent presentation, Doctor. No need to say that. It was very interesting and highly informative. I could never imagine, of course, I am from North India, could never imagine that Jain literature has contributed so much to the Tamil language. I have got many Tamil friends, even a very close relative. I don't think even they are knowing about this. I think there is a need to spread this awareness among all over the country, North Indians also, especially among the Tamils, that they should know the contribution. Thank you. I have just one question, Doctor. During course of presentation, somewhere you mentioned when karmas have been removed willingly or unwillingly. I think it was in reference to the Kevali. I always said that the karmas can only be removed willingly by a lot of purusharths, but a lot of effort. So can these be removed unwillingly also?
जो क्वेश्चन का जो है ना, निसर्गात अधिगमात्वा, सम्यक दर्शन की उत्पत्ति के बारे में तीसरा सूत्र है तत्वा सूत्र में, दैट में कम निसर्गात, स्वयंभू रूप से भी होता है. सो सर्वप्रथम जो तीर्थंकर वरा हुए हैं, उनके पहले कोई तीर्थंकर थे नहीं. सो इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द अनविलिंगली, इन द सेंस इट वाज हैपनिंग. जैसे मरुदेवी माता जी बारे में कहते हैं, तुलसी थी वो, इसलिए तुलसी की पूजा करते हैं हिंदू लोग. तुलसी थी और शी बिकम मरुदेवी माता जी, ये ऐसा कहना होता है. यानी कि सेम बहुत सारे निगो जीव भी आके मोक्ष गए हैं. सो विलिंगली अनविलिंग मीन्स इट हैपेंस विथ योर ओन बिहेवियर, दैट आपके पता बिना पता है, बिकॉज आत्मार्थ होते हैं आप अपने आप, उसमें ये जड़ता रहता है. इस वजह से कहा गया. ये बहुत आर पॉसिबल. अदरवाइज अंतर्मूर्त केवल कितने ही लोग बनते हैं. तो हमारे भरत चक्रवर्ती से लेके आनंद में अंतर्मूर्त केवल का इट्स समथिंग व्हिच इज अ प्रोसेस दैट हैज बीन गोइंग ऑन. भाई आपका चरित्र से कर्म का जड़ता निर्जरा होती रहती है. ये
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सर.
थैंक यू.
अकाम निर्जरा,
या अकाम निर्जरा, या बिल्कुल. यस जीवराज साहब.
आप एक्सीलेंट, सो इन्फॉर्मेटिव, अमेजिंग. आपने बहुत डिटेल्स अच्छे दिए हैं. इट्स वेरी इन्फॉर्मेटिव. आई होप इट कुड बी पुट इन ए बुक फॉर्म फॉर रीडर्स ऑल ओवर द इंडिया, एंड यू put it in a very lucid manner. We enjoyed your talk today. So, thank you, sir, very much. Thank you.
Certainly keep in mind, by health permitting, because this kind of information a scientist can only look at it, और scholars में बहुत problem है. So वहाँ पे तमिलनाडु especially, recently they invited me write on. I said I will not write for you people.
Dr. Dev Kumar ji, I am Justice Govind from Madhya Pradesh and Bhopal.
जी.
Actually, I extend my ovation to you for such an excellent talk today about the glorious picture of the Tamil Jain literature in Tamil. In fact, I had heard something about that Tamil literature. It's a very rich literature, and there are a lot of Jain script in the Tamil and as well as in the Kannada. But unfortunately, what happened that we are not having to read all that. That is not available to us either in English or in Hindi. And we are not aware about the Tamil language. But today you have really gave a very detailed that historical background of the Jain scripts in Tamil. And that is, but nowadays I have heard one thing about the Tamil society, that Jains which are in the North Tamil or in South Tamil, they are facing they are living rather below poverty line, and there is they are also facing a conversion. Is that true according to you, that your information or knowledge?
Shall I answer already? Salomani ji has come. See, if you read Tirukkural, it defines what a king should do or should not do. If someone has to beg and leave, if a citizen has to beg and leave, let the king just disappear, go to hell, he says in Tirukkural. So what I'm saying is, and another one in the ancient Tamil literature, it is not the power of the king that is ruling, governance, it is the way he conducts himself, it works for the people, that is there. So if you see the whole Tamil literature from Sangam to Tirukkural, and they have defined many kings who obeyed that reason Ashoka could not reach there. If you see, nobody conquered Tamil Nadu. For simple reason, they have been very well protected. Luckily, तीनों तरफ उनके वो sea है. It's more of kind of island, you could say, and they've been very well protected. All the three kings were all united all the time. They behaved धर्म के प्रति बहुत श्रद्धा आस्था रही है उस टाइम पे। ओनली व्हेन थिंग्स स्टार्ट डिसइंटीग्रेटिंग क्या आना था। आजकल लोग जो है पढ़ते नहीं है और पावर में तो आ जाते हैं। पावर क्या क्या मतलब, पावर इज टू सर्व पीपल, not power is to yes put that show baji, but that's a problem. But Tamil Nadu may not be that bad, I'm not sure, but below poverty line is Bimaru state में ये आता नहीं है। We have that so called Bimar abbreviation, Bihar, isn't it? Bimaru, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar.
That's true. That's true. But I have heard about that. I have no personal knowledge. Some people told me that in Tamil Nadu, the Jains are living below poverty line. They are having no means and they are facing conversion, and they are being converted from Jains to either to Christianity or to the Islam. This is the news to me. I don't know how far it is correct.
To
That's
do
why
power. None is really power in terms of square mile. None is power really poor. But is happened, the luring happens. Love jihad जो है ना वो चल रहा है, हर जगह में चल रहा है। ये क्रिश्चियनिटी में भी है।
हाँ, दैट ये तो एपिडेमिक है, लव जिहाद जो है आजकल फैल रहा है पूरी जगह है, और उससे हम बच नहीं पा रहे हैं। यानी ये सब हमारे परिवारों में जो संस्कारों की कमी हो रही है, जो हमारे पेरेंट्स हमारे बच्चों को ठीक से नर्स नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उसका रिजल्ट निकल के आ रहा है।
नहीं, एक्चुअली जो दूसरा क्या है ना, आप यू से दे आर कॉल्ड Battakal in Karnataka. It is the western coast. Battakal I remember because Acharya Bhatta Akalang sat on the stone called Battakal. Kal means stone. वहां पे अरब कंट्रीज लोग आके हमारे लड़े के लूप आके वो इट हैज बिकम ए मुस्लिम रीजन कह सकता है। ये जो लुभाना, यंग लड़कियों को लुभाना थोड़ा बहुत आसान हो जाता है, थोड़ा ज्वेलरी वो देंगे, वो थोड़ा सा ये हो जाता है, ये है। बट देर आल outliers, not in large numbers, fortunately. Or even though we have 30,000 Jains, but Jainism point of view से काफी लोग आगे हैं, उसमें कोई कमी नहीं है। अच्छे इनके चलता है, डिस्कशन चलता है, काफी अवेयरनेस हाई है तमिल जैन्स में compared to other Jains of any state. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you suggest some book in English to read something about the Jain Tamil literature?
See, Bharati Gyanpit has come out in the 1960.
Okay.
Written by A. Chakravarti Nainar and K.V. Ramesh. It is available. I'll send you the email. I'll send you the soft copy. It is Jain Tamil literature. It is called Study of Jain Tamil literature. And he has not gone to that detail what I could do, but that is because another 50 years have passed by, 60 years have passed by. But that's a very good background. Good. Also, Hindi में काफी लोगों ने किया है। कैलाश चंद्र शास्त्री जी या फूलचंद शास्त्री जी ने तमिल साकेत के ऊपर उन्हें हिंदी में भी काम किया है। तो ऐसा
अगर हिंदी में होगा तो हम दिखवा लेंगे, यहाँ दिखवा लेंगे, अगर हमारी नॉलेज में नहीं है।
में भी है, जी जी।
Okay. Thank you very much for a very elaborative talk and for this very informative. You have a vast knowledge on the Tamil literature. I extend my hearty greetings and congratulations to Uttam Shama.
Jai Jane sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, sir, can I add a point?
Ji.
Mr. Goel sir, as you mentioned that there is a crisis, some economic crisis in the Tamil Nadu, in the Jain community. We have started a campaign here from Delhi. एक ट्रस्ट बनाया गया है वर्धमान परिवार के तरफ से, वो that is doing service to the downtrodden Jain communities, it is said. तो उसमें वहां पर जो जैन को आइडेंटिफाई कर करके उनको अनेक प्रकार से सपोर्ट किया जा रहा है। और नाउ वी हैव आइडेंटिफाइड अराउंड 150 टेम्पल्स, उनका रिनोवेशन शुरू किया गया है। एंड वी होप दैट दिस वर्क विल बी एप्रिशिएटेड बाय यू।
दैट्स वेरी फाइन, क्योंकि ऐसा हमारे नॉर्थ कर्नाटक में भी ऐसे ही हो रहा है। नॉर्थ कर्नाटक में भी जैन कम्युनिटी बड़ी पुअर है, तो वहां भी कुछ लोग काम कर रहे हैं। अभी हमारे महाराज लोगों ने भी कुछ इंटरेस्ट लिया है, मुनि लोगों ने, आचार्य लोगों ने, एंड दे आर हेल्पिंग द पीपल। बट पूरे देश में ऐसा काम करने की जरूरत है डॉक्टर साहब।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल, बहुत अच्छी बात है। मैं पर्सनली जानता हूँ और
देव
वो
कुमार जी, देव कुमार जी, जो आपने जो आज प्रेजेंटेशन दिया है, ये जैसे जस्टिस साहब ने बहुत अच्छी तरह से प्रस्तुत किया और जीवराज जी ने भी कमेंट किया है, तो ये इसकी आवश्यकता है कि जो इसको आप हिंदी भाषा के अंदर थोड़ा सा हिंदी अंग्रेजी मिक्स कर करके इसको प्रस्तुत करें तो हम लोगों को बड़े हम लाभान्वित होंगे।
सही बात जी।
जरूर सर,
तमिल
जरूर
वी वुड लाइक टू सपोर्ट।
थैंक्स अ लॉट, थैंक्स अ लॉट।
थैंक यू। या जरूर जरूर जरूर।
मेरी थोड़ी क्वारी है देव कुमार जी।
यस सर।
Yes, there is one very important scripture in Tamil, that is Kural by
Tirukkural.
Tiruvalluvar. So the Jain attribute that the authorship of Kural to a Jain Acharya Kunda ji. Did he write that scripture?
Yeah. That's what it is, Dr. A. जो Lord Ellis है, he came out of the coin in the honor of the author. He has shown him as a Kundacharya. The coins are available. ये
Okay.
अभी हाल ही के मुश्किल से कितना 150 साल पुरानी बात है। एलिस ने, तो इन लोगों ने जब फ्रीडम होने के बाद घेर के उनको गेहूं कपड़े पहना के दाढ़ी मूछ लगा के नाम तिरुवल्लुवर को आगे बढ़ा के सब कुछ करना, मैंने कहा भाई कर लो, मुझे भी काफी लोग बात हुई, मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं है। व्हाट इज देयर इन ए नेम। अब उसमें एक अधिकार तो पढ़ लो जो आपके 70 + 38 108 चैप्टर्स हैं, अधिकार हैं, उसमें एक अधिकार को पढ़कर फॉलो कर लो। आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम।
Okay.
दिस इंटरेस्टिंग। I can say G.D. Naidu was a well-known scientist. You might have heard of him from Coimbatore. So G.D. Naidu, even हमारा former president Kalam साहब जब वोट संभाले, he coming from fisher community, people men community, he gave up. He became vegetarian. He could go to the level. हम तो पढ़ते हैं पूर्व भाव से जो मरीचि कुमार बना है, हम तो पढ़ते हैं क्योंकि मधुमध्य मांस छोड़ने से आया साक्षात कलाम। He became president, भारत ना बने केवल वेजिटेरियन बनने से।
वेरी गुड।
एक सिद्धांत भाई मैं करूंगा। देखिए किस कम्युनिटी के, देखिए जीटी नायडू जो है लंदन से ट्रैवल कर रहा था, उन दोनों शिप में, देयर वाज नो राइट ब्रदर्स और नॉट बॉर्न दैट टाइम, देयर वाज नो प्लेन। सडनली आग लग गया था शिप में, देखा था दोनों तरफ, वहां पे जो भी कूद रहते हैं वह सारे जो ना वेल्स वर ईटिंग दम। जीडी नाइट सोच रहा था मैं करूं क्या, पहले देखा आग बढ़ा, उसने भी नीचे कूदा। द वेल सराउंडेड हिम एंड गाइडेड हिम टू द शोर। तब सोचा he became vegetarian some many years back by reading the Tirukkural couplet. கொல்லான் பொலாலை மறுத்தானை கை கூப்பி எல்லா உயிரும் தொழும்। यानी कि जो बंदा वर्टिकल हत्या नहीं करता, मांस नहीं खाता, उसके सभी जीव उसको वंदना करेंगे। उस साक्षात देखा जो वेल्स which were eating, they were guiding him. So तब it came in big newspapers those days. So हम तो जैन, हमें तो उसका महत्व इतना नहीं पता है। जिसने भी फॉलो किया, तमिलनाडु में इतने लोग वेजिटेरियन हैं just because of one single book called तिरुकुरल। Never call it as कुरल, always जी लगाते हैं हम, तिरुकुरल कहना जरूरी है। तिरु लगाना है, तिरु इज श्री कुरल है। सो लोग अभी कुरल कह देते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कहते हैं हम। आपको जो श्री डीसी जैन साहब, श्री अशोक जैन जी कहते हैं, वो श्री है बिकॉज उसका श्री युक्त है पत्नी। सो तिरुकुरल नाम ही वैसा है। बहुत बढ़िया, अलग तिरुकुरल बारे में हम बात कर सकते हैं। एब्सोल्युटली वी कैन डू इट। वी विल एंजॉय रीडिंग द तिरुकुरल। या
And another great Jain scripture was Naladiyar, and that was after Kural. So that is also supposed to be written by Jain monk, Naladiyar.
नहीं, यार का इन लोग कुछ कर नहीं पाए हैं क्योंकि इट वाज हिस्टोरिकल and Pandya king will not allow these Jain saints to move out of his kingdom. जैन सेंट्स ने कहा भाई हम एक ही जगह पर रहते नहीं, पानी एक जगह पर रहने से गंदा हो जाता है, मुनि लोग एक ही जगह पर होने से। इन्होंने पर देखा वो नहीं पाया, रात को एक एक स्टैंसा लिखा उनकी आनर में। वो 400 स्टैंसा सभी प्रसिद्ध होने से इसके किसी ने चेंज नहीं कर पाए। नालडियार को भी चेंज कर दिया होते हैं। दैट इज नालडी 4 लाइन्स and Tirukkural is 2 lines. Naladi, Irandadi. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. Nalum rendum, saying Ashok ji, Nalum rendum sollu kuridi. Nalum, that is Naladiyar, दो लाइन वाला तिरुकुरल सोल्लु कुरुदी. सो जो भी भाषा जो प्रवचन करता है, लेक्चर देता है तमिल में, बिना कोट करके ये दोनों का उसकी लेक्चर सार्थक नहीं हो पाता. नालुम रेंडु सोल्लु कुरुदी अक्षर का उसका वजन मजबूत होता है. एनीवे, वी कैन ऑलवेज हैव इट अ ग्रेट डिस्कशन. थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू.
क्योंकि एक स्टोरी मैंने पढ़ी थी कि देयर वर सम 8000 जैन मॉन्क्स ड्यूरिंग पांड्यन डायनेस्टी, और जब वो फेमीन खत्म हुआ तो वो वापस जाने लगे, तो किंग ने उनको रोका तो वो रुके नहीं, तो फिर वो दे लेफ्ट ओवरनाइट, एंड देन palm leaf scrolls were floating in river, and scrolls contained some 400 quatrains, that is चौपाई उन स्क्रोल्स में थी, और उसी को उन्होंने किंग ने नाम दिया नाला डियार. तो क्या नाला डियार वही
आप सही
वो
पढ़ा
उनका
है,
था?
सही पढ़ा है. बेसिकली हम इतना दूर जैन मुनि के नॉर्थ तक आने की जरूरत नहीं है. ये अकॉर्डिंग टू मूलाचार आपको 2 दिन से 3 दिन से ज्यादा एक जगह पर रुकते नहीं. उन्होंने कहा भाई हम लोग रुक नहीं सकते यहाँ पे, हवा रुकती नहीं है, मुनि नहीं रुकता. वो बात अलग, लोगों ने ये लाया कि ये दे वांटेड टू कम टू नॉर्थ. इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी, मतलब वो जरूर नहीं है. देयर आर मेनी स्टेट्स इन बिटवीन. बेसिकली दे वांटेड टू मूव अराउंड, उनके चर्या करना जरूरी था. उसका राजा का इतना अधिक प्रेम था, वो मना करा. सही कह रहे हैं आप. उसके 400 जो है, वो जो वैगै रिवर में 400 ऐसे ही साइड में किनारे पे पड़े थे, उनको इकट्ठा किया, कम संकलन किया, एक्सेट्रा स्टोरी है. ये इतना हिस्ट्री होने से ये सो कॉल्ड हिंदू भक्त जो है इसको डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं कर, तिरुकुरल को तो उल्टा सीधा कर दिया, इसको नहीं कर पाए बिकॉज ऑफ दिस हिस्ट्री. सही कह रहे हैं, आपने सही पढ़ा. जी जी.
There is my last query. There is one scripture, Sri Puranam, and Sri
Yes, sir.
Puranam consists the life history of 63 Salaka Purush, 63 Salaka Purush जो बताए हैं, and this Sri Puranam, it enriched the Tamil vocabulary and literature, and literally styled through Mani Prabalam, that is jam and coral. So what is this? I couldn't understand. Through jam and coral.
शुरू में हिंट किया था, 2 लिपि जैन्स ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया. वन इज कॉल्ड तमिली, व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज पन्नवना सूत्र में, समवायिक सूत्र में है दैट तमिली कहते हैं वहां पे, तमिली दैट इज तमिल ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट. और आगे बढ़ते बढ़ते 16वां सेंचुरी में महसूस हुआ कि कन्नड़ा, तेलुगु, मलयालम सारे संस्कृत वर्ड का अपना लिया. तमिल में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. तोंडेमंडल पुरुष, महापुरुष, he synthesized language, as you correctly said. Mani is Tamil, coral, प्रवाल is coral. मणि कोरल जैसे कहते माला बनाते हैं, उन्होंने इस ग्रंथ लिपि को कहा. सो ग्रंथ लिपि को पढ़ने वाला बहुत कम है. फॉर्चुनेटली आई कैन रीड. श्री पुराणम इज वंडरफुल बुक. इट्स अ समरी ऑफ 63 सलाका पुरुष ऑफ आचार्य जिनसेनाचार्य एंड गुणभद्राचार्य. तो महापुराण है, उसके कंडेंस्ड वे में, स्वीट लैंग्वेज में, बहुत सुंदर से श्री पुराण को हम लोगों को वाचन भी हुआ है. एक लेडी है कमला देवी, आज आ नहीं पाई, उन्होंने पूरा श्री पुराणम को तमिल में 180 ऑडियोस में उन्होंने कंप्लीट किया. श्री पुराणम को घर पे रखा जाता है. कोई भी शादी ब्याह के लिए पहले उसको श्री पुराणम को देखते हैं. मुहूर्त तो ठीक है नहीं है. आई यूज्ड टू बी, आई वाज यंग किड, आई वाज मेनी टाइम्स आई पुट दैट गोल्डन थ्रेड to in the pages. Yeah, it is Sri Puranam is very, very, as I said, to Jivaka Chintamani, Sri Puranam has been amazing. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah. There was a slide I could not show. Yeah.
You mentioned about Pingala Nighantu, and in 8th, 9th, 10th century, some books on Ayurveda were written in the name of Nighantu. So those Nighantus are similar to the Nighantus written by the authors of 9th, 10th century. They are concerned with health or Ayurveda, Pingla, Nighantu, etc.
Nighantu and medical, 18,000 flowers का listed था. 18,000. I did not touch that. Even Pujya Swami has written on that, what you call the medical Nighantu part of it. Yes, they were there. I could not bring it out. And 18,000 flowers, different flowers. You can imagine, you are a botanist, you know how difficult it is. Description of the 18,000 flowers. Even now we have that in Kalyana Karakam, and we are not able to translate it. It's a beautiful book, still a Jain book. Maybe
Very
हम
popular, very popular. Yeah.
आगे ले जाएंगे. ये कल्याण कारकम is something one should do and correlated to modern vocabulary, medical sciences. Amazing book by that, that Acharya. Yeah.
Prokhandaji, unmute. Prokhandaji, unmute. You are muted, unmute.
हाँ सर, सॉरी. हाँ, अच्छा, वो मैं बाद में बताऊंगा. ये मेरे को बताइए, आपकी ये जैन आगम जो है नॉर्थ के अंदर, के 32 आगम है या 48 आगम है, तो उन आगम का जो ज्ञान है, उनसे ये जो तमिल लिटरेचर है वो इंडिपेंडेंट है, या मतलब वो उसकी ट्रांसलेशन है, या कितना प्रभावित है, या वो मेरा सेपरेटली डेवलप हुआ, मतलब.
ये जो है ना, आप बहुत अच्छी प्रश्न पूछा. Actually, that's what I kept on slide. The earlier Sangam literature is before Bhagwan Mahavir, before Bhagwan Pashna. Only name को टच करता है. नेमित तीर्थंकर है, बालाजी है. वो नेमित being a Gujarati, he went around South India. The only person from that side, western side. So 700 years उनका दिव्य तीर्थ विहार रहा. तमिलनाडु में तिरुवन्नामलई, तिरुमलई, चित्तनवासल, each one of them, it is named Tirthankara. So again, Krishna, Lord Krishna, the population became so much, he sent 18 battalions to Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka. It is written there. He sent them there. So that's why Pandya Nadu very name. You have got lot of Pandyas in Gujarat. Their surname is Pandya. So there's lot of connection between, because Mohenjo-daro, Harappa civilization, Tamil people, they also moved out to that part. So much history has happened. But your point is right. This is pre these two Tirthankaras. Your first wala, Sangam wala. That's why Tirukkural starts.
Pre-Mahavir ka? Pre-Mahavir ka?
Pre-Mahavir, pre-Pashna. Pre-Pashna.
अच्छा? Oh my goodness.
And because that's why Tirukkural the Mangalacharan is Agara Mudala Eduthellam Adi Bhagavan Mudatre Ulog. He puts Adi Bhagavan. Adi Tirthankara करते हैं.
आदिनाथ भगवान का.
Which is very much assimilated. भगवान आदिनाथ का, नेमिनाथ का assimilate होके उसे मिट्टी में मिल गया खुशबू. आगे जाके बाकी तीर्थंकरों का आने लग गया. जी.
तो उसमें तो बहुत फंडामेंटल मटेरियल है, फिर तो बहुत फंडामेंटल, मतलब समथिंग न्यू फॉर अस.
एक तो है we had tsunami and all, 2-3 बार हुआ है. We lost lot of letters. You remember the recently the Chinese fellow visited Mahabalipuram because when they were in trouble, Japanese fellows were attacking. Our Modi ji hosted there in Mahabalipuram. So these Tamil fellows were very navigators and they could rescue them. That kind of capability was very from Greece everywhere. That sea navigation was a very strong point with them. With the result, they were really leaders, world leaders that time. और क्या है कि over a period of time, because of the tsunami etc., they lost lot of literature. लोग हम भी कम होने लगे. कौन पढ़ने के लिए तैयार बैठा बताइए. हमारे इतने आगम में, मैं स्वतंत्र आगम में कितने लोग निरुक्ति पढ़ रहे हैं. आवश्यक निरुक्ति में पढ़ता हूँ, विशेष आवश्यक निरुक्ति ऊपर से है, चूर्णी है, पढ़ने के लिए नहीं है. ऊपर से काम चलाना चाहते हैं हम. मुनि महाराज भी नहीं करना चाहते हैं. यही प्रॉब्लम है एक्चुअली. देन आई एम नॉट कंप्लेनिंग, इट इज अ स्टेट ऑफ अफेयर्स. ये
नहीं, मैं अभी एक्चुअली यूएसए में रहा था, 2 महीने रहा था, तो वहां पे लोगों को पढ़ने का इतना शौक है कि मतलब सोच नहीं सकते. वहां पे एक बच्चा देखा हमने 3 साल का, वो उसने 500 बुक्स पढ़ ली थी. अपने वहां पे छोटी छोटी बुक्स आती, मतलब अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट के लिए. तो उसकी माँ पढ़ती थी और वो सुनता था, लेकिन उसको पूरा याद है कि क्या लिखा है इस किताब के अंदर. तो ऐसे बहुत से एग्जाम्पल है. तो बचपन से ही वो हैबिट डाली जाती है. मतलब बहुत बड़ी बात है, मतलब बहुत बड़ी बात है, और सीखना चाहिए हमको.
लॉर्ड मकेलन ने सर्वे किया था तमिलनाडु वाला में. उसने ये लिखा था, इफ यू वांट टू रूल इंडिया यू हैव टू ब्रेक देयर बैकबोन. क्या है, इनका गुरुकुल इतना स्ट्रांग है, दे आर सो स्ट्रांग ऑफ द लैंग्वेज, उसको आप हीनता दिखाना पड़ेगा. दूसरा लिखा, इनकी जो वाटर हार्वेस्ट सिस्टम इतना स्ट्रांग है, 4 साल तक बारिश ना हो फिर भी उनकी खेती चल जाती है. ये दो एक लिखा, अनलेस यू ब्रेक दिस, उनके हीन भावना नहीं करोगे अपनी भाषा को. वर्नाकुलर लैंग्वेज का मतलब हीन भाषा. वर्नाकुलर इज नॉट लोकल लैंग्वेज, तीन भाषा का
बिल्कुल
एक्चुअल मीनिंग है। सो इसलिए अभी भी पढ़ने में बहुत रुचि रखते हैं, काफी कितना भी
अच्छा।
गरीब हो वो पढ़ लेते हैं, पढ़ने का बहुत रुचि रखते
हाँ 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 हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद साहब। अच्छा, ऐसा ये अपने ऐसा जैन साहित्य ये मलयालम और अपने ये तेलुगु में भी है क्या? कन्नड़ में तो है वो मेरे को पता है,
हैं। में तो
तेलुगु
है,
और ये मलयालम में है?
मलयालम में थोड़ा बहुत है, क्योंकि क्या हुआ कि मलयालम इज लेटेस्ट लैंग्वेज,
अच्छा।
6 साल पुराना है। वो
हाँ हाँ।
नंबूर तक पहुंच गया नॉर्थ से, उन्होंने पूरा अपने तरफ से कर दिया। मलयालम में
अच्छा
जैन को हाँ वैल्यू कम कर दिया इन्होंने। तेलुगु में भी यही रहा, नागार्जुना जैसा लोग आए हैं ध्वंस
अच्छा।
कर, ये इसलिए हम दोनों में रन्ना तो रहे, पंपा का ब्रदर रन्ना वाज देयर, ये रोट इन तेलुगु पार्ट ऑफ इट। इसीलिए आप जैसा आपने कहा कर्नाटक एंड तमिलनाडु बचा हुआ है, एंड तमिलनाडु बिकॉज ऑफ लव फॉर द लैंग्वेज, सिंपली तमिलियंस लव द लैंग्वेज एंड दैट्स हाउ वी आर सर्वाइविंग। जी
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देव कुमार जी, बहुत ही सुंदर लेक्चर और बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव, बहुत मेहनत आपने की उसके लिए। और मैं ये चाहूँगा कि ये जो है इसको एक बार और आपका लेक्चर रखा जाए, और इसमें अगर इफ़ यू कैन आल्सो कवर कि व्हाट आर द बुक्स विच आर साइन बुक्स इन तमिल लैंग्वेजेस which could be very useful for the general public and as well as for Jainism. So वो अगर आप एक लिस्ट।
योगानी जी आप अमेजिंग पर्सन है, पता नहीं आपके मन में कैसे विचार आया मेरे से कराना है, मेरे को पढ़वाया आपने, बहुत सारे मुझे पढ़ना पड़ा क्योंकि आई एम ए साइंटिस्ट, आई हैव बीन साइंटिस्ट। ठीक है, लिटरेचर शौक है, बट आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। मैं सोच रहा था कैसे सोगानी के मन में ये बात आई डॉक्टर साहब से तमिल में बुलवाना। तो आई रियली ओब्लाइज टू यू, ऑनेस्टली यू आर ए फैंटास्टिक पर्सन, अमेजिंग पर्सन। और आगे भी इसको तमिल में आगे ले जाएंगे, एक एक इम्पॉर्टेंट लिटरेचर लेके थोड़ा बात कर लेते हैं, नुकसान कुछ नहीं है। जरूर करेंगे सोगानी जी।
जी,
तो भाई
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सभी को। सुलेख चंद जी जैन यूएसए, पोखन्ना जी बहुत टाइम बाद हमसे जुड़े इस बार, उनको भी बहुत
नहीं
बहुत
मैं तो आता
धन्यवाद।
रहता हूँ।
आर के खन्ना साहब हमारे रेगुलर स्पीकर है, अशोक
मैं
जैन, जीवराज जैन साहब, और जितने भी लोग जुड़े, बहुत ही सुंदर और बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट। और ये यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल होगा, आई विल शेयर द लिंक। एंड इसको फिर एक बार आपका पूरा भी मतलब थोड़ा सा जो रह गया, बिकॉज इट वाज टाइम वाज नॉट परमिटिंग, अदरवाइज नोबडी वाज वांटेड टू स्टॉप यू। सो मैंने भी अपना अनम्यूट कर रखा था।
We wanted him to go on and on.
Go on and go on. So
कर लेंगे।
thank you so much.
Doctor, you are a scientist. Just one, you are a scientist, but you are speaking like a spiritual guru. जैसे भी बहुत बड़ा जैन गुरु का हम प्रवचन सुन रहे हैं।
हाँ नहीं,
Very fortunate to be associated.
गोमट साहब का क्लास लेते हैं डॉक्टर साहब, तो बहुत
तेरा
बड़ी
वो मेरे को दिखा रहा है, हम तो कुछ नहीं है, बट दैट इज समथिंग बिकॉज वंस यू आर possessed of this great language or land, I mean, but knowledge makes any man really powerful enough. Thank you so much.
Sir,
I'm
we have on 18th and 19th one of the offline conference, first time after so many years of गुरुदेव, 5 साल हो गए गुरुदेव को, तो वो जहाजपुर में कर रहे हैं। आर का स्वस्ति भूषण माता जी वहाँ पे रहती हैं, जो कि जहाजपुर का पंचकल्याणक भी गुरुदेव आचार्य ज्ञान सागर जी ने ही कराया था। तो वो सब्जेक्ट और मैं सारी डिटेल्स भेजूंगा। आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू रजिस्टर ऑन दैट। एंड आपका लेक्चर जरूर देव कुमार साहब वहाँ पे भी होगा, जी पोखन्ना साहब।
तो सोगानी जी
जी
2 मिनट है ना, वी हैव सेल्वमणि जी एंड देविका जी तमिल जेंट्स,
हाँ
उनको
हाँ,
कुछ चाहते तो 2 मिनट उनको दीजिए कृपया
श्योर
आप। हाँ
श्योर।
चलो सुनो सर, he came forward and I think someone செல்வமணி சார் இருக்கீங்களா?
आपका लेक्चर सुनने के बाद अब लग रहा है कि मैंने तमिल लैंग्वेज क्यों नहीं सीखी। आपने वास्तव में
Namaste Ji.
गागर में सागर भर दिया।
Jai Jinendra. Namaste Ji.
इतना
I am not
विशाल
a
लिटरेचर
scholar like you.
तमिल में है।
I am a
और मैं तो
ex-employee
जब
of
भी गया मैंने
Kamandari
देखा कि
and
वहाँ गली गली में जैन मंदिर और जैन एविडेंसेज वहां पर मिलते हैं। बहुत शानदार लेक्चर आपका रहा। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर। अशोक साहब, सेल्वमणि जी इज टेलिंग समथिंग।
या प्लीज।
okay.
I am an ex-employee of IBB Group Company. I am study the Samayavanga Sudha 18 languages. That is why I have learned Tamil, Brahmi, Libic in archaeologist. That is why I translated all the words. Tirukural also I translated. Provided people are asking some Tamil literature in English or Hindi, the help of Dr. Devakumar, I can translate. I am doing the Jainology and all that. So, provided you have to give me the word file, then only I can transliterate the same file into the any language you want.
I just want word about Salumaneji.
Yeah.
He sending me every week his working. Salumaneji is a great, his field was not Tamil literature. The way he is working every week, he's sending me, doing all these things. Salumani Apandai इनका नाम है. Apandai is a special name of Pashwanath. Tamil में Apandai is a common name because पाश तीर्थंकर का एक स्पेशल नेम है अपांडे. तमिलनाडु में मिलेंगे. ये अपांडे सलोमनी जी हैं. ये इतना बढ़िया काम कर रहे हैं. कभी इनका मौका दीजिए, इनका अपना काम बताएंगे. He is very constantly working. That's what I am appreciating. I am unable to meet his requirement. He keeps on sending me material. Amazing. Thank you, Salomani ji. Thank you so much. Jai Jain.
Thank you. Thankful to all. Jai Jain. Thank you.
Devika ji wants to say something. Another great Sravaki, Pratima Adhari. She is also Pratima Adhari, like Tolkappiyar. Devika ji, solunga
Commendation to all members. Commendation ji.
Ramek Darshan, 2 Tamil Jains have joined. That's a great honor to me. You were all there from America to everywhere. Thank you so much, Devika, my dear Devika's sister, my daughter, I call her. Amazing person. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jai Jain.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving a platform to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jai Jinendra to sabko michhami duklam.
Another Tamil Jain, Sugandhi is there. Sugandhi ji, solunga.
सम्यक दर्शनालना
சொல்லுங்கம்மா.
தமிழ் தமிழோட இதை பத்தி சொன்ன ரொம்ப அருமையா இருந்தது.
தேங்க்யூ. நீங்க கொடுத்துருந்தீங்க 11 கணக்குகள் அது ஸ்லைட்ல வச்சிருந்தேன், கிடைக்கல. தேங்க்யூ so much. The Devika ji and Sugandhi, my dear sisters. Sister means not by birth, but they have been very strong supporters of. ये पक्का बलम कहते हैं तमिल में, बुजु बल है दोनों. Thank you so much, both of you joined. Thank you so much.
सबको सादर जय जिनेंद्र और मिच्छामी दुक्कड़म.
जय जिनेंद्र.
जय जिनेंद्र साहब. जैनम जयतु शास्त्रम जैनम जय. Thank you. Okay.
Devakumar ji, can I ask you one more important information? I have learned that in the our constitution, in the article, the one act was enacted in 1960, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, by Srimati Rukmani Arundel. Was she Jain?
There was a great person. He got a title called Jeev Bandhu T.S. Sripal. He was in 50s and 60s. He used to go around wherever during the Dasara, vertical Navratri period, especially on Ashtami, he will stand before the animal and say, "Mere ko pehla maro, uska baad usko karo." So you write Dale and others, Jeeva Rakshaka Sabha, they were all leading, and I'm sure they would have brought something, but that is more of a dead article. Actually, नहीं तो रहा. जयपुर में मैं गया था पीछे आश्रम में पिछले कुछ साल पहले, वहाँ हो रहा था, कोई कुछ नहीं कहता. आप you go to Guwahati, Huleham, जो यशोधरा काव्यम, there is one of the epics in Tamil. I wanted to bring it as Sogani ji is telling. Next time we'll discuss about it. आप सही कह रहे हैं, but कौन उसको आगे लाएगा? ये प्रॉब्लम. Live animals are being exported. क्या बात करेंगे आप? Live animals from this country. So too much. That is what is happening. It's a very दुखद कहानी है. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. जय जिनेंद्र, आपकी आज्ञा से मैं बंद कर रहा हूँ. Thank you.
Good night.